Do you cherry pick trips? As a rideshare driver, what is your acceptance rate? What are the chances that most of the trips that come down the pipe to you through the app are profitable and something worth you accepting? Saw a video online of a rideshare driver that accepts 99% of the trips that he receives reportedly, and I thought it was worth talking about. Hear the driver give his reasons why.
And let's start with that, and then we'll go into some other specifics.
Well, there are actually a number of reasons. When I first started, it was very simple. I figured that I'm going out to make some money, and the way to make money is to give rides. So I would accept the rides, and I didn't want to. I was limited to Saturday and Sunday since I was working full time, and I didn't have a lot of time. So I would spend the 12 hours on Saturday and Sunday. I'd work the full amount of time, and I would just pick up rides and riders, and it was a good experience. I felt that I could see the result of what I did. I was at least grossing a good amount of money for the day's work. And I enjoyed it more than I ever thought I would. So, the idea of not accepting rides, it's different than what I've always done. It also, I've gotten to talk to a lot of riders who really rely on what we do, and I don't feel any need to refuse rides because I know I've rescued many people from all kinds of situations who were desperately trying to get to work or the airport or dinner. They're trying to get home from work, and if other people want to not accept rides, that's up to them. I'm an independent contractor, and just like they are.
Rescues passengers from all sorts of situations, helps them get to work, helps them get to the airport, maybe get to dinner. He does it for one reason in regards to rescuing people, helping folks out. Very kind. But at the end of the day, as a rideshare driver, you're not rescuing no damn body from shit. There are a host of other ways a person can get to the airport, get to dinner, or get to work. You're rescuing them from high prices of catching a traditional taxi or having to drive their own damn car and pay to park. That is what you are rescuing them from. And the reason you can rescue them from those ways of paying to get from point A to point B and save that passenger money is because they're not paying you shit. This is one of the dumbest things I have ever seen come from a veteran driver, but maybe yours truly. Maybe I am totally getting it wrong. Maybe I come across as a complete idiot, which is why I'm inviting you veteran drivers in the comments. Let me know what percentage of trips, if you had to guesstimate, what percentage of trips do you accept? Better yet, what the hell is your acceptance rate? 99% of trips that come down the pipe to this gentleman, he accepts. That's tremendous. Now, obviously, you're going to get the platinum standard or whatever the hell that is and things like that comes along with it. But just for the sake of this video, I quickly logged into the app and took the first 2 trips that were sent to me to use as examples in this video. Now, in this case, I logged in with Lyft because Lyft tells you the time it'll take to get to the passenger and how long they estimate it'll take to drop the passenger off. And of course, it tells you how much you will earn. Trip number 1. 16 minutes or 6 miles to drive to pick up the passenger. The passenger is going 2.2 miles, which estimated will take a total estimated time of 7 minutes. So that is 23 minutes of driving, according to their estimates, a total of 8.2 miles that pays $4.52 for those 23 minutes. Next, second trip that came through, 13 minutes of driving, total of 6.3 miles to get to a passenger. that wants to travel 2.6 miles, which will take an additional 7 minutes to take the passenger to their destination. Total payout $4.89 for your 20 minutes of driving. What is that? 8.9 miles total. These two trips were the first trips I saw. No way I would accept either one of those trips. 99% acceptance rate. Now, in regards to what the driver stated in the video, he claims he gets 40 to 50% of his passengers tip. I believe he stated he was in the Myrtle Beach area, which would lead to the second question. In addition to asking what is your acceptance rate, what do you estimate? What percentage of your passengers tip you? Now, we all want tips. We all drive for tips. This additional income, it certainly makes or breaks a lot of us in terms of earnings. Nevertheless, because tips are not guaranteed, not predictable, when it comes to factoring in your earnings, you should never factor in tips. Even in this case, where this driver supposedly gets far more tips than the average driver, he's only boasting that he gets 40 to 50% of his passengers tipping him. In a restaurant, getting 40 to 50% of your patrons to tip would be dismal. But in ride sharing, because we do receive such infrequent amount of tipping, that's a big deal to say, well, half of the people are actually giving me a tip. He corrected it in the video. If you guys want to watch the longer video, he says 40% of his passengers or so tip. But at the end of the day, I don't see how taking 99% of the trips that are sent to you from Uber or Lyft can be profitable, which is why I'm asking, maybe I'm getting it wrong. Is there anybody out there that have been driving for any substantial period of time, taking 99% of the trips they send and actually turning a profit? Now, in this video, which I often watch the rideshare guy, which is the channel this is on, I like Sergio, the guy that's interviewing him, because he generally provides really good information on how to really maintain a profitable existence in ride sharing. In fact, his hashtag is decline garbage. Don't take garbage trips. So how the hell could he interview a guy that's taking 99% of trips and not ask this man to show any numbers at all? Probably because he already knows if you show us every trip you're taking, you're going to have some explaining to do as to why you're taking this stuff. I've seen trips, folks, drive you 70, 80, 90 miles out of town, pay you $60 and leave it up to you to drive all the way back at your own expense. How could any driver maintain a profit accepting 99% of the trips? And last but not least, the idea that you're rescuing people, helping them get to work, helping them get to the airport and dinner, that should not even be factored in on why you take trips. At the end of the day, you're running a business. You're trying to feed your family, pay your bills by running a business, not necessarily doing things out of sympathy, as he said, rescuing people. You can't survive any business by rescuing people. That's charity, folks. What he is alluding to is charity. Now, he is an older, retired gentleman, so you got to assume he's receiving income from whatever he used to do in his main line of work. So perhaps folks like him are driving more for pleasure as opposed to profit. But nevertheless, I wanted to bring this video to you because I believe any driver that follows what this guy is suggesting, accepting 99% of trips, is heading for bankruptcy, heading for a disaster zone. And I would submit that even if you're in a very tourist-heavy area, Vegas, Myrtle Beach, where he's at, you know, some of the areas where the predominant passengers are tourists, you shouldn't have to drive where most of your income is coming from tips. But knowing what the base fare is of Uber and Lyft, if you're driving for base fare and accepting 99% of trips, am I wrong in believing there's absolutely no damn way you could be making a significant profit from that? Am I really getting it that wrong? Got a hell of a lot of veteran drivers out here. Talk to your boy. Let me know in the comments. 99% of trips. Who the hell is doing that? It's your boy Tim with another ride sharing video. As always, subscribe to the damn channel. And I'll see you in the next one.
For the love.